Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Chris G. I'm live. Hope everybody's doing all right and just all in good health and things of that nature. Um, this is going to be like a quick stream. I may have to mute here and there because I do have some, chest congestion and stuff like that. So I may have to mute sometimes to to excuse me, try to clear my throat. But I'm not going to be on here too long. But yeah, basically, I just wanted to get on here and just go live for a little bit, just kind of, get my feet wet with the live thing, and we'll just see where it goes from there. So first off, I want to, just talk about some, a few things here, but just gonna go ahead and get it kicked off. So one of the things I did want to talk about is starting off with 9/11. Um, 9/11 is that's definitely a very important day in our country's history. It's definitely something that I think a lot of Americans they need to remember this day, regardless of what party affiliation you're with. I just think it's something that we should remember because on that day, um 9/11, some really tragic stuff went down. And I think a lot of people remember where they were, when 9/11 took place. I myself, I was at home, and I was waiting to. I guess I'm probably going to kind of age myself a little bit by talking about this, part of the program. But I actually was, at home waiting to, get shipped out to boot camp. Um, during that week, it was just like a regular, day of the week. And then, next thing you know, because I remember I was watching ESPN. I was watching ESPN, and I remember at the bottom it was a ticker, and the ticker was saying that something about WTC, a building or something like that, is something that happened. And I was just like, wow, like I never heard of no WTC building. It was like, at the bottom where they talk about the scores of games, you know, but I was just like, what is that? And then it said turn to I think it said turn to CBS. And this is back when like Dan Rather was back when he was working, and and I saw on TV, and I told my mom about it and her husband. I told them about it, and I said, man, something happening down there in New York City. And then next thing you know, that's when the planes ended up going to the World Trade, and that was just a really sad and tragic day. And to me, if people, they see my avatar, I was in the Navy and stuff like that. And I went to boot camp, basically like a week after 9/11. So that was a very intense time. And the way my mindset was back then, I was just like, man, we gotta take care of business, go after whoever did this. And people have their own opinions about sending people over to certain areas, certain theaters of war and stuff like that. Everybody has their opinion, and I'm not going to too much discuss any of that. But I do remember going in to boot camp and stuff. And I remember when they were getting ready to, I think Congress or something was talking about the possibility of war and stuff like that. And this is before like the global war on terrorism took place. And oh, sorry about that. Need to try to mute. I'm kind of new to this thing. It's all these pop-ups because I'm doing this on my phone. I'm gonna try to see if I can upgrade later. later on. So I'm sorry if you hear pop ups and noises like that. Um, but I just can remember they were talking about that, possibly going to war. And I remember I was at a restaurant with my family, and we stepped outside, and I saw some people that were protesting. They were just like, "Oh, you people, going overseas to go to war." They said some type of really nasty stuff. I remember that. I remember that. I just don't remember what they said, but I remember that. And then like next thing you know, some time later, man, um, I'm inside of a war, and that was a pretty intense time, you know. Because I'm a Iraqi freedom veteran. I'm not going to get too in detail of all the stuff that went down, but I was a part of that operation, and that was a very memorable part of my life, But talking back about the beginning part of what went down that day, man, it's just so many people ended up. Um, ended up, just passing away. It's really sad because, a lot of those folks, they didn't know that was going to be their last day, where they ended up passing away. Some people, they probably had, um, one of their kids' music recitals or an anniversary dinner or something like that. Something really important coming up, they might have been getting ready to go into retirement. That was probably like their final week of going to work, and then that went down. And just a really tragic time. And just my heart goes out to those victims, man, and rest in peace to people that passed away. A lot of people, I don't think they really think about it. It's like there was literally like thousands, like we're talking about thousands of people that passed that day, man. Um, just a really just sad situation, man. Really sad. And may those people rest in peace. And I remember driving around my city, and I saw some people. They had their flags at half mast, and one lady I saw that put the flag down at half mast. I thanked her for doing that, and she asked me if I had served, and I told her that I did, you know, and stuff like that. So it was a very serious moment for me. But yeah, but I believe as Americans we shouldn't forget ever that tragedy that took place that day, and we should definitely pay respect to that day. So that's what I have to say about that with the 9/11. Okay, so I want to move on to another topic here. I want to talk about the migrant situation that's going on in America. I know a lot of people are they got mixed feelings about the migrant situation that's going on. Some people say it's okay for folks to come over. Some people saying it's a bad thing. Um, my take on it is, excuse me, my take on it is that you know, I think that if you do come over here, I just I just personally think that there are proper avenues to do it. I'm not saying people are not able to come here, but I just would hope that just people would just do it the proper way. That's my take on it. People can have different views on it. That's fine. But one thing I will say though is that I think that I think our country we really need to have a strong, solid border because like inside of like the groups that are coming in, just deep within it, man, you got some dangerous people that are like coming over. And then like in one of my videos I talked about the apartment takeover that took place in Colorado. And I read about that and thought about it, and I was just like, wow, this is some really bad stuff. You got some people just going taking over an apartment complex where people get up in the morning or at night and go to work, punch a time clock, or maybe they have their own business, but they're working hard for this money to be able to pay to have a place to live at. and then you have these folks coming in that that just basically just bum rushed this whole place. They bum rushed it, and they had terrorized the tenants that lived there, and also you just had some people that they just did some really foul stuff, and it ended up scaring the folks that that work in the office. So that was some really intense stuff right there. They just scared him and got him up out of there. And I also heard another situation like this took place, I believe, in Chicago. So like, I just really think that the government really needs to crack down on this and really, like, secure the border and watch what's going on down there, because you got folks coming in here that are like terrorizing people in America. It's not all of them are terrorizing folks, but you do have portions of them that are like terrorizing people, and it's just really not a good thing. So I'm hoping that we can get a crackdown on that. I seen a picture somewhere on the news where you had some of those some of the gang affiliated folks that came across the border. Like they ended up um they ended up like robbing a can was it a jewelry store, I believe. And and it's really a crazy situation that took place. It really is crazy. And I just hope we can get something accomplished with that, because I believe every American should be every American shouldn't they shouldn't be afraid to go outside and be in fear of some gang affiliated people doing some bad things. And like I said, I'm not saying it's like every person that has come over to America. I'm saying there's like deep within that group, there's like some gang people that are over here. And I heard somewhere that, like, I saw online where is somebody was saying something about in Venezuela, that the government there excuse me, was saying to the people that, hey, we're going to let y'all out of these institutions, being locked up, incarcerated. And it's like, look, you need to get out of here. The criminal people, you need to get out of here and don't come back here no more. So I thought that was some pretty intense stuff right there. So I think that's a big contributing factor why we have a lot of the criminal element that's crossing over. Not everybody coming over is criminal minded, but deep within that group, you have some criminal minded folks coming. So, that was some really messed up stuff there. So hopefully we can get that under control. Um, the next thing I want to talk about is, I want to talk about, Jordan Childs. And, a lot of people, they know about like Simone Biles and stuff. She's, the GOAT. I believe she's the GOAT. A wonderful young lady, just a tremendous talent, doing the gymnastics and stuff like that. I can remember, you know, um, some like, years back. I remember I was, watching gymnastics back, when I was a kid. I think the first games I think I saw was like, I'm probably dating myself when I say this. I guess a him. It was like a little bit of Barcelona, but I just snippets of it. But the first Olympics where I just really, really, really sat down and started to really try to sit down and watch the Olympics. It was back in '96 when they had the Atlanta Games. And that was a very interesting experience right there. Very interesting. But fast forwarding up to current time, Jordan Childs, she had the situation where she basically had her bronze medal taken away because the score said that she didn't get enough points to qualify for the bronze medal. But then, the team that she was working with, I guess like I think it was like the trainers or some type of people that oversees the the gymnasts. They were writing up I guess like a some type of like petition, some type of like paperwork thing, where they're trying to give it to the officiating people, you know, the governing body people of the games that are dealing with the gymnastics. And they said that the stuff came in late. And I think it was only by like a matter of seconds or something like that. So, like they got it in there. Then it went over to where, Jordan Childs won the medal, and then it switched over to where it didn't, So like I thought that was like a really sad thing right there. Um, that went down, you know, um, because they like I'm saying they took it away. They said it was too late, and they gave it to the lady. I can't remember off the bat. I wish I'd have wrote it down, but it was a lady from over in Europe, one of the Europe countries. She ended up winning it, and I felt really bad for Jordan because a lot of people a lot of people don't know that it's really hard to get to the Olympics, regardless of what sport you're in. It's really really tough to get there, and to get there and work hard, and then you finally get a chance to like receive a medal, regardless of what place, first, second, third, gold, silver, bronze, regardless. Excuse me. And you finally get a chance, you're like overcome with joy. I could see it on like Jordan's face when she was like, "Oh wow, I'm going to get this bronze medal," and then to find out that it gets taken away, that's like taking the wind out of your sails. That's probably like getting gut punched and the air gets knocked out of you. I myself have never won a Olympic medal or lost one, but I can imagine, I only can imagine the devastation you would feel that that you can feel when you have an award like that taken away from you after working so hard to get there. So many hours put in with training, with working hard, sacrificing. There's probably certain foods you want to eat, but you can't eat them. And got to get up, run, lift weights, do your routines, all that stuff. For whatever sport you have to do, and then you're doing all of that to get to that one moment, that one moment where you got to put it all together and make it happen to basically shoot your shot to try to be able to place and get a medal. So that's extremely difficult to try to deal with. um but what I will say though is that I am proud of her. I love her very much. I think she's a wonderful talent. I hope I get to see her um in the 2028 games. I hope I get to see her in the 2028 games in LA. And LA is like extremely fired up for these games. I mean, they are like they had like they when they won the the Olympics were ending, like the closing ceremony for Paris, man, they you already had like commercial stuff set up. Like they were talking about what events was going to be coming back to the Olympics. So like um they were LA's fired up. They're fired up and ready to go for this thing. So that's a really cool thing there. And I just can't wait to be able to see it. Lord willing, I'm still here. I want to be able to see it. And hopefully Jordan's going to be in there. I don't know if this is going to be um her last Olympics. It may be, because I think this will probably excuse me, I think this is probably going to be her third one. I think this is going to be her third Olympics. So so hopefully we'll get to see her there, and hopefully she'll be able to get that medal back. The decision will get overturned. But if it doesn't, then I understand, and I still think she's an awesome young lady, and I wish her all the best. I wish for the best for her in school and all of her future endeavors. you know. So that's what I have to say about that. And wanted to, just kind of segue, but still staying in the in the like the basically the topic of like gymnastics. I can remember seeing, and I thought about, I still might do a video on it, but I do want to talk about how um I saw a picture, about one or two pictures of the three young ladies that were on the podium when it was time for the medal ceremony for the gymnastics. I think it was like the individual events. Excuse me. And I saw three ladies. It was, Simone Biles, um, obviously from America, and then from Brazil you had, I believe I'm going to say this right, Rebecca Andrade. I believe that's the proper pronunciation for that. I also did a video on her. She has an amazing story about how she, came into gymnastics, and also, the lady I just mentioned earlier, Jordan Childs, and these three ladies, to see them on those pictures, to see those young ladies on those pictures, it was really a beautiful thing to see. It was very, very beautiful to see because, um, traditionally, gymnastics was, mainly seen as being like a sport that was basically, it kind of, I'm trying to be PC about it, but basically it was more or less seen as being like a sport that was, um, dominated by, by white people, Caucasians, um, and there's nothing wrong with that, because that, those are like the big, group of people that was, heavily involved with the gymnastics, and have what you have, and that group of people, just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful talent there with the gymnastics. But just over the course of time, you started having different, ethnicities being involved with gymnastics. I can remember back when I was younger, I saw a young lady. I did a short, a YouTube short on her. Um, trying to Wow, I'm trying to trying to remember her name. Um, Man, I'm drawing a blank. Um, okay, yeah, I remember now. It's Dominique Dawes, and that that lady's, absolutely wonderful talent. Back when I saw her, and that really, blew my mind back then to see a woman of color, doing the gymnastics. I thought that was just a really, really amazing thing. So, that was something that stayed with me. And then, you go forward into the future, then you have these three young ladies up there on the podium. I think that's a true testament to, three ladies of color up there. It's a true testament to the progress of like sports. Seeing these three, beautiful, wonderful young ladies up there representing the sport, and trust and believe there's going to be a lot of young ladies that are going to see that, and they're going to believe that that they can be able to excel in gymnastics too, because they see someone that looks like them. And it's also opened up for other ethnicities too, to get involved with it. But definitely seeing those three ladies up there, it was a definite beautiful thing that that took place. And I hope in the future I could see, just just different mixtures of that. Ladies up there on that podium representing, their culture, and the people that they're a part of. You know, so that's really cool. And I want to move on to another topic, and I just want to talk about some shady people. You know, um, it's not cool being around shady folks. You normally want to try to like stay away from people that do shady stuff. You know, I try to be around good, wholesome people. Try to be around good, wholesome people. But sometimes you run across some shady folks. And I wanted to talk about a situation that happened to me. That wasn't cool. There was a time I went to a dollar store, and I think it was like a Dollar Tree or something like that. I went there, and the lady, I got my the items or what have you, and I was waiting in line and stuff, and eventually I go up there to go pay for mine. Now, beforehand, I saw a gentleman that was up there, and I guess he basically like, I guess he called himself trying to tip her or something like that. Like he gave her some extra money or something like that that was supposed to be for her. And I was just like, okay, that's pretty much whatever. All right. Um, and so he did what he did, and then I go up there, and then like next thing I know, it's time for me to go get my stuff checked out, and then I get my change, and then I get my receipt and stuff, and I go head on out, and I see her, you know, excuse me, moving some money around, but I didn't think too much of it. I didn't think she was going to try to do anything to me, but I ended up getting my receipt and my change, what I thought was my change, and I ended up going home. And then I looked at the receipt, and this lady had short me like a few dollars. Excuse me. So I'm just like, you know what, man, I need to go back to this store, because it was more than just like a couple of dollars. So I go up there to the store, and I tell this lady, I say, hey, look, I'm supposed to get such and such amount of money back, and he didn't do it. And this lady, oh man, she got real mad and angry. She was like, oh well, I can't believe, like you got your money back and blah blah blah. And I was like, no, ma'am, I really didn't. And I think I said something like, I was like, I'm probably not supposed to talk like this, but I swear on Jesus Christ, I said I did not get all my money back. I'm supposed to get X amount of dollars back, and I got like half of that. So the lady, like I was talking to her, and some other people ended up began looking at me talking to this lady, and then it got to a point where the manager dude, he came out from his office, and then he went to go speak to her real quick, and then they took the register in the back to his office, and I'm out there waiting by the register, where the lady was originally working at, and they were in that back room for a few minutes, and then eventually, like, she came out and she gave me the money I was supposed to get, the other half of it, you know, and she had the nerve to sit up there and say, "Oh well, um, well, here's your money." And then she said something like, "Well, I know I got it right the first time though, blah 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 blah." And I was just like, I just let her talk because I was about to say something else to her, but I took the high road and I didn't say anything about that. But my thing is this, like, if the lady, it's like, look, if you want to get tips, I know if people are trying to make extra money and stuff like that, but when you work at the Dollar Tree, that's not a job where you get tips from. Like that's not a part of like the operations of that place. Like like you go there, you work your hours, you get your paycheck. That's what it is. You know, there's nothing about doing some type of like gratuity at that job. You know what I'm saying? Now if she wants to like go to a place where where like they talk about gratuity, like giving tips and stuff like that, because it's intertwined in the business, then she needs to go work at like a restaurant. Um, she needs to like go be like a delivery driver, what I'm saying, doing like Uber Eats and those types of things. Or maybe she needs to go work like, go be like a I guess what you call it, like a bottle girl, or like like a waitress. Like go to those places where you can get tips. You know what I'm saying? Because like doing that stuff, at that store, like that's really not cool. And I was really, really angry about that. I wish I'd have called corporate on that lady. I really wish I did, but because I don't want her to do that to anybody else. And I think the dude that gave her a tip, he was kind of like an older guy. So I guess he was kind of giving like sugar daddy vibes or something like that. But I'm like, look, like I'm not with that. And it's like, I work hard for my money, and it's like, if I'm supposed to get my change back, I'm supposed to get my change, not no part or quarter. I want all my change back. I'm supposed to be getting. So like that lady was just really really shady when it comes to that. But basically that's all I'm gonna talk about. I did have some viewership in here, but it seemed like it kind of just went away, and that's fine. But like I said, I'm just trying to get my feet wet with the live stream thing. I don't really have um, like a link for people to come up and stuff like that, but I maybe might be looking into that. I know StreamYards went up on the money for that. Um, and I think for me to possibly try to push to go to that level, I think I want to try to um possibly try to come up with some more content where I can um sit up for an extremely long period of time, let's say like a possible amount of like hours and stuff like that. So that's something that I'm trying to look at into the future. Like, so I'm trying to get used to doing the live stream thing. But well, I guess that's pretty much going to be it. I want to thank the viewers that that came in. Well, I see a couple people here. I guess I'll talk about one more thing, and talking about with like shady people and stuff. I work at a job. I'm not going to say the name of it, but speaking about like shady people, excuse me, where I'm at, it's just people doing stuff that's not cool. I've been there for a few years, and a situation where that went down where I had some work equipment. I had some work equipment, taken away from me, and it's very important work equipment that I need to do my job. I'm not going to put the name of my job out there, because I just read something somewhere at the job too. They're talking about if you're doing stuff online, like you don't need to be like putting the name out there of the company, or if you do like whatever you say, you need to like, I guess how you could say, you need to just say it's like your own words and say these are not the words of your company, like it's your own words you're talking about. So I'm trying to be careful about what I say. But like, so anyway, at the job, like I had that work equipment and I had it chained up, with like a bike chain. And I came back off of vacation, and this took place like last year. Like I came off vacation, and then like the second day I was back, it wasn't even the first day, but it was the second day. And it's like some twisted stuff. Like I could see if it was gone the first day I came back for it, but the second day, like my work equipment was gone. It like somebody cut the chain and took it. And I was just like, dang man, like who took my equipment? I really need this stuff, man. And excuse me, I go around asking folks, and people were just like, oh, I don't know, man. I don't know who did it. And I'm just like, okay, look, man, somebody knows something. Because it just didn't disappear. And they said something about somebody said something like about one of the coworkers I work with. He works close to me, and he was like, yeah, um, he was like, yeah, like I don't know who, he don't know how he said my bad. I told him, I said, look, somebody took it. And then he said something like, oh, I heard you was gonna do that. And then I was like, like, who said that? And then he like froze. Like he was about to say it, but like he caught himself. And he's not a bad dude, but like ever since then though, I was just like, man, this cat, I ain't too like I kind of look at him with the side eye though. Like he helps me at the job and stuff, but like but when he didn't tell me more about this whole thing about people removing certain work equipment, excuse me, because they were talking about the equipment that was chained up against like it's like this pipe, inside of the workspace we're at, and they said y'all need to take that off. We're going to be taking those off of there, and the work equipment you have, you can't just have it for yourself. Other people need to be able to use it. But then when I went to go ask about that from people, um, excuse me, people were just like, "Oh," the management was like, "Oh, I don't know nothing about that." And I'm just like, okay, like something doesn't add up with this, man. Something really doesn't add up with it because like my stuff got stolen. I asked somebody that works close to me. They're talking about, oh, they said they was gonna start doing it, but then they can't tell me who did it. So like that type of stuff, that's shady, man. And I don't like when people do that type of stuff, man. That really irks me, man. And then we had like a situation where there was like parking at the job. It was like people, parking, because I do have like a handicap placard, and there was like people illegally parking there, and I was telling a manager about that stuff, and he was just like, "Oh, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know I said, "Man, look, you know about that because that manager and it's like a group of people that came up to my work place that like I guess they transferred from one city to come to the other one where I'm currently at. So I guess they're like really on this type of like click type of like group stuff, and I guess I'm not a part of that. So I was like, look, man, this person's over there parking over there. They're not supposed to be doing that. Like that's like illegally parking. He was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Then I went to go eventually confront the person that was doing that stuff, and it was a young lady, and she just didn't even say nothing about. She apologized, was going to move or anything like that. So she just continued to do it. And I eventually had to go call like some higher up people about that stuff because not only for me to be able to use that space, but for other people that are authorized to be able to use that spot. You know what I mean? And so eventually, what like the management did, because I called some people higher up than from the building I work at, and then eventually, um, what went down was like some more parking spaces got put together, and so I was like, okay, that's cool. And then, but then I was still seeing people like, like parking over there illegally. I'm just like, dude, man, like, y'all gotta stop doing this stuff, man. Like, that's extremely disrespectful for like doing that type of junk, man. Like, you ain't supposed to be there. Go park where you're supposed to normally be at. And if I don't have a space, for me to park there, but other people that are authorized to park there, if they're there, that then I can accept that. But like I have to like keep watching that stuff, and I'm kind of to the point where I just kind of don't even feel like trying to monitor that stuff. But it's just like I said, we're talking about like shady people. You just got some folks that just don't give a damn and just keep doing stuff that don't make any sense. you know and so that's what's going on with there. I'll probably just park some other area, whatever. And now I want to move. Yeah. Oh no. Nicer. I see you, nicer. Yeah, I see. You. I'm trying to read it a little bit. I was kind of in the zone. Yeah. Sorry about that, nicer. Yeah. 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 I see you, nicer. Yeah. People be acting like, yeah, like that. They use the thief. They don't know, but they be helping me look for it. Yeah. That's some crazy stuff that be happening. Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat earlier. I was trying to get my stuff off and trying to talk and stuff like that. But appreciate you being here. I put some I tried to put a little something together to try to get my chops up for going online and stuff. I'm trying to I'm trying to work it out, man. You know, and I would go to another part of the shady people, I guess, segment of the show. Um, yeah, I see emojis down there, nice. And So that I want to talk about these people that live. Well, I'm trying not to talk too loud because they live upstairs above me. I'm at home doing this. So, yeah, man, but it's like these people, dude, uh, they're like putting trash and stuff on my patio, man. And I'm just like, dude, this is like not cool. Sorry if it sounds like I'm kind of whispering, but I'm trying not to be too loud. And thankfully they're not vacuuming or nothing. And at that point, I probably had to go in the closet or something. Trapped in the closet. but but yeah, no, man, like they're above me, and it's like, man, they be like having parties up there and stuff, and it's like that's cool, but like y'all need to like throw away your trash, man. You know what I'm saying? Like take your stuff and throw it away. Like it's not hard to do. You're all grown people. And I think it was like some new folks that moved up there because at first it was like one lady, I think one lady in particular that lived there. And then like I came outside one day because back when they had the eclipse, excuse me, the eclipse, excuse me, in the area where I'm at, I was able to see it. So I come outside to get ready to see the eclipse, and then I come out and there was like people on upstairs, like on the balcony, and I'm like, who the hell are these people? Like I never see these damn people. Like when the hell did they go up? When did they start living up there? You know? So I was like, that blew my mind. And some dude ran from upstairs. He like ran down, took a picture. I think he did like a selfie. Then he like ran back up into the apartment. I'm like, who the hell is these? Who are these folks, man? This is crazy. I don't know these damn people. Because where I've lived at, I've been living here for years. So anyway, um, they start like, having parties and stuff. And then like just they would just be just trash would be coming down from there. It'd be like cigarette butts and like a cigarette lighter and stuff. And then one time I was out there and it was like the lighter was down there and then the dude was sitting up top up there and I was just like, hey man, look, could you please not like trash my patio? Like that's not cool, man. And he was like, oh man, oh yeah. And I like hand him the lighter. I hand him the lighter and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, I guess maybe he'll understand not to do that, right? But then more and more of this stuff started happening. I'm finding cigarette butts. I'm finding like beer cans and stuff. And I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, I think I found like some pastry wrappers down on my patio. I'm like, look, man, this is ridiculous, dude. Y'all are like grown people up there. Like, you need to throw that crap away. Like, seriously. I could kind of see if it was like maybe like young people that just got out of high school not too long ago. I know how like a lot of times young people could be wild and just be trash and stuff, even though that still would be bad too. But it's like, man, it's like grown folks up there, grown people, man. That's probably like around my age or like maybe just a little bit younger, a little bit older than me. So I'm like, man, come on, man. And like I just seen that stuff. And then one day I just said, screw it, I'm gonna put a doggone sign up there and I put the sign up there by the door, and they probably thought I was psycho or something. But I was just like, look, but I ain't putting nothing bad on the sign. I just said, look, on the note, I just said, look, man, stop doing this stuff. Like, could you please not do it? I said, a patio is not a trash can. Like, thank you. You know, and everything's were going good there at that point for some time, and then I started seeing some stuff again. I was like, okay, look, I need to go to like the management and go tell them about this stuff because I'm like, this is just ridiculous, you know. And lately, I think the management spoke to them, so hopefully I don't see it again. But like, I just count that as just like being shady, to a degree because it's like, I never it's like I don't really get a chance to really see the people a lot, you know. But then like they just keep doing this stuff, and it's just not cool, And and a lot of times they just didn't take it upon themselves from the beginning, um, to just like clean up after themselves. So yeah, that just yeah, that's right now. So yeah, no respect, just ridiculous, man. So like, hopefully, hopefully I won't see that stuff no more. Um, but like. I ain't gonna lie, nice. I took some of the cigarette butts. I gotta keep it low. I put that stuff up there on by they dough. I put that stuff. I said, man, I'm tired of this trash, yo. I put this stuff up there. I don't think I'm gonna be doing that a lot though. I said, I'm gonna put this stuff right up there, close to where where your area is. So hopefully you get the message of like, stop doing that. Um, but yeah, nice. Yeah, no respect, man. No respect at all. So hopefully things will get better with that. And then my final subject that I want to talk about is excuse me, I want to talk about let me see one second here. Okay. Oh yeah, and yeah, nice. I wanted to tell you thank you for your compliment acknowledgement of my service. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Nice. I really thank you for that. And so yeah, going into the final subject I want to talk about is just the holidays. The holidays are coming up. I understand. You got a lot of people that have their families. They're going to be coming together. Celebrating. Like Thanksgiving and Christmas, all them type. That type of stuff. And that's cool if you have that family. But then you got some people that might not have family to be with. That can be a very difficult time for people. Some folks unfortunately they get very depressed, and sometimes their minds wander into real bad levels of thinking. Sometimes unfortunately some people they you know yeah, I see you down there, nice. I say you are nice. I see you in the chat. um but unfortunately you do have some people that when they're lonely during that time period, they some people unfortunately they unalive themselves, and that's really sad. Because a lot of times they don't have people around to to talk to or to visit. So what I would just say, if you're a single person that's going to go through the holiday period alone, because you might be somebody that you just might not get along with your family. It might be very dysfunctional, something like that. What I would suggest doing is, you know, just see if you got, just see if you could go hang out with your friends, during that time period. During the holidays, maybe they might have an event that comes up. Maybe you might be able to hang out with your friend's family. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you can get online, social media. Maybe you might be able to put together, like join like a panel. Kind of like the StreamYard thing, or something was what is that thing called Zoom or something. Just some type of social thing where you get to talk to people and be able to mingle, with folks online around that time period, so you don't really feel like you're by yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely something to do. Or if you're a spiritual person, maybe there's a lot of people depressed. Yeah, that's right, nicer. It's a lot of stuff going on, in that department. So like you could go around those people. If you're a spiritual person, maybe you can go deeper within, like prayer, things like that, or like meditation. What I'm saying, to get yourself on point spiritually. You could try to do that. Or another thing you can do during that time period is you can go like volunteer. You can go volunteer at places, like like soup kitchens, some excuse me, excuse me, like soup kitchens, food pantries, and where you can hand out food. You can be helping someone, helping a group of a family, you know at a soup kitchen. You could be serving food, helping folks that are like homeless, stuff like that. There may even be like a clothing drive. You could go there and help, issue out clothes like coats and long sleeve shirts, stuff like that. Or maybe you might have some stuff at home that you can go and take to like the place where they take the used clothing and stuff like that. And then like when you go to these places, you got folks to mingle around with and talk with, while at the same time you're doing something positive to help your community. So I think those are some really good things to do. And above all else, or maybe not above all else, but one thing that you really should look into is be thankful. Be thankful during that time period. Be thankful, that you're above ground, that you're alive. Unfortunately, there's going to be some people around the time period that won't be able to celebrate that. You know what I'm saying? For example, not to be rude or anything like that, but we just recently lost a iconic gentleman in the acting world. His name is James Earl Jones. May that brother rest in peace. But he's not going to be able to celebrate a Christmas or like Thanksgiving because he's no longer with us. He may be here with us in spirit, but his body is no longer with us. So he's not going to be here. Another icon that was big in music, Frankie Beverly. He did a lot of music. I think either when I was really younger, or it might have been before my time, but a very popular musical genius in the African American community. He won't be able to celebrate another Christmas or a Thanksgiving. So definitely be thankful that around the time period that you're still among the living. Lord willing, that you be able to see those days. Be thankful for that. You know, I remember a time when I was working some years back. I worked at juvie. What was it? Yeah, it was juvenile hall, and there was a kid that I had to take. Oh no, I don't think I took him there. I think I had to meet him there to like supervise and like security watch him because something happened to him. So I was at the hospital, and off in the cut there was like a a gentleman. The family was in there, and like there was a doctor in there, I believe, and I think it was a doctor, or maybe it might have been a religious person. I'm not for sure who it was, but it was a gentleman speaking, and that man, I believe, he was getting his last rites. So, excuse me. So like that like he was he was getting ready to pass away. And that's really intense, man. So there's other events that he wasn't going to be able to be a part of. You know, so that's something that really stuck out with me. That was really really heavy, really really heavy. And knowing that family, the people that were there, experiencing that's real deep. So that I say that to say be thankful that you're alive. Around that time period. Be thankful that you was able to get up out the bed. You know, you got your mind, your arms, your legs work. There's some people that can't even walk. That some people, their arms don't work. There's some people that wish they could that they could bathe themselves, but they can't do it. Somebody has to bathe them. Somebody has to clothe them. You know what I'm saying? Like we take that stuff for granted. You know what I'm saying? I have people in my family that are disabled that have to get help with things. We take those things like being able to walk and using our arms, appendages. We take that stuff for granted. Our eyesight. Be thankful you're able to see. There's some people that had their vision taken away. People that were alive, all they know about, having their eyesight. Then boom, something happened where they couldn't see no more. That's a big life change. So if you got all those things working for you, be thankful for that. Be thankful that you got a roof over your head. Some people during their holiday season, like I said, they're gonna be at soup kitchens. Um, soup kitchens. Some of them they're gonna probably be sitting outside somewhere. and just just somebody might give them something to eat. They might be at a place where it's so packed that they can't sit inside. They got to sit outside, probably in the cold, eating a meal. So just be thankful if you got a roof over your head. I don't care if you're sitting at home and you're eating a TV dinner that you put in the microwave, and you cut the little plastic so like the heat and steam could like kind of come off the food and help to cook it. If that's all you got to eat, be thankful for that. Be thankful you had the money to be able to purchase that. Be glad you had a roof over your head, because you got some people that around the holidays, man, a lot of like weird, like freak accident stuff happens. Like people's, like apartments catch on fire, people's houses catch on fire. You know what I'm saying? Um, just wild stuff happens. Where they don't even have a roof, they don't even have their own roof over their head. They gotta go try to live with relatives and stuff like that. Sometimes the relatives don't even want to take them in. So they gotta try to figure out where to go. But if you got a place, you got a roof over your head, you had to put some food in your stomach, you be thankful for that. You got a little bit of change in your pocket, you be thankful for that. I don't care if you only got number $7 in your pocket. You know what? You got $7. You got $7 more than somebody else got. You got $7 more than somebody else got. You be thankful for that. Be thankful for every awesome thing that you have in life around that time period. And don't take any of that stuff for granted. So that's what I wanted to say. Oh, and one more thing. Mental health is important. If you are thinking about doing something to yourself or harming yourself, please get help. There is help out there. There's nothing to be ashamed of if you need help. It takes a strong person to realize that they need help. So don't be ashamed. If you're having problems with mental health, make sure you get help. All right. So basically, that's going to be the end of the show. The live stream. This is my first ever live stream, and I want to thank Nicer for showing up. And I think the other person, I had a one extra person that was in here watching the stream. Thank you for coming in. They kind of stepped in, stepped out. And Nicer, I know you had some things you have to do, but Most High bless you, Nicer. And thank the other person for that came by. And this is going to conclude my stream, first ever one. I was a little nervous, but I just tried to put something together to try to get my feet wet. Hopefully, I can do some more. I want to try to come up with some good content. I try to think hard about this stuff. I'm not like a big YouTuber, but I just try to do what I can. So, take care, Nicer. The other person that was here. This is the Chris G Live. I like how I say Chris G Live, and y'all take care. If you know what I'm saying, if you like what you hear, I do have a channel. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Y'all take care. Peace. God bless.